Woohoo!
Hello, guys, women.
We are
Men.
we are live. Oh, O's. Hello, beautiful ladies. Thank you for coming in. So grateful to have you here tonight. You're driving. That's brilliant. That's so brilliant.
Yeah.
Um, I'm so excited for this. Like this, yeah, this conversation is the beginning of more conversations I know between us and between the women and men in our community, and more of this energy and this just absolute like what we have here, what we are birthing, what we're creating, what so many beautiful people before us, what shoes they've walked in is like, yeah, it's something to be just shared with everybody. It's something to bring this more to the forefront. It's something to normalize in households, normalize in families, because deeply in my soul, I know that this brings families together. I know that children are with their parents. It brings couples closer because the intimacy and the space for intimacy is really there. So being able to, yeah, travel and do all the things are a byproduct, though, of what's happening energetically with human beings. And it's shifting more into this play and this joy and this fun. And so money and crafting money and the 100K and the playbook about that is all about this conversation. But once again, it starts with these foundations of the energy. And I'm just like buzzing.
I know. I'm so excited because I love what you said there about normalizing it, and
Yes.
we're going to show you how like easy it is,
Yeah.
right? How
Yeah.
not even like that. It's simplicity of 100K is just like the benchmark. It's just the beginning. And so we're going to show you how you can actually do that. And if that, like, even thinking about $100,000, even when I say that, like, how does that
Mm,
feel in your body? Like, what emotions come up? Is it scarcity? Is it like excitement? Is it like, what is it for you when we even say that word, $100,000, 100K? Like for me, when I first started on my journey, I had no idea, and I know you didn't either, right? Had no idea that this could even be possible. I had no idea. And so when
yeah.
myself and Kristen, when we both had the download at the same time, and we looked at each other and we're like, oh my God, we need to do a session about this. We need to normalize
Yeah.
this. And yeah, someone you said excitement, like fuck yes, it is. And is it okay if we swear? Like, is it okay if we go rogue? Like, and we just do us and we're like in our most full authentic expression, like whatever comes out, because we have never really done a live session really sharing or just like going rogue, right? Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, yes, go rogue, please. Yes, like literally, it's just been, I said this on my story once. It's like, you come to these sessions and it's more structured, and yes, we've got a couple of slides to go through and show you guys, but
yeah.
it's more just being able to just have more of these conversations. That's what we both felt is being able to, yes, normalize 100K, yes, show a vehicle and a way of how to do that. Yes, like talk about the fact that families have fucking been torn apart and have been for decades and decades, and then like suppression of women years and years ago is still happening, and like this all this out of balance. It's time for that harmonious relationship between all to really come together, and that's what is already unfolding moving forward. And so this conversation is a part of that energy. It's birthing in that way. So a big thank you to all you beautiful souls watching the recording, and to the beautiful ladies that we have on here with us tonight. Big thank you for being here, because it means that there's a part of you, a big part of you, your heart, whatever, that's wanting to birth also, or is already having these types of conversations and normalize, like you said, Summer, wealth, like wealthy, and what does like wealthy really mean for us as individuals? Like it looks different for everybody, and this cookie cutter approach, like have the Lamborghinis, have the houses, or have the cars, or what's blown up on Instagram and the socials over the last decade, is actually not truly what everybody feels on the inside. It's so important to get everybody to start speaking what it is that they want and their definition of success and wealth in this lifetime, so we can actually move towards that, which is
Mm.
true sovereignty. And I literally just saw a little kitten that I've never seen before just run across the neighbor's front lawn. Never
I
seen
love
that
it.
before.
Somebody tell us, like, what does it mean spiritually to see a kitten?
Yeah, little cat. It was literally like, meow, like bounding across. I just take that as a lot of fun, joy, wealth, and cats are very
Yeah.
spiritual. So
Yes, they are. And this is the other thing too. Like like pop in the chat. You're already working hard. Like
Yes.
I see you. I see you. You're already working hard. You're already like in the zone. Like you're wanting, you have this like feeling within you. If you're anything like us, like, and you're here watching this or watching the recording, you have this like feeling within you that you're like destined for more. But maybe
Yeah.
potentially you can't put words to it. It's something that you just like, it gives me soul bumps. Like you just feel it in your body. And it's going to look maybe different to what mine and Kristen's looks like, our vision,
Yeah.
or anyone else here. Like your vision and your mission is so unique to you. And if you can
Yes.
see yourself being more wealthy, if you even hear the word like, and you feel like 100K and you feel excited, like that is a sign that you can have it. Whatever you see, you can create. And so I'm really, really excited to, yeah, break it down a little bit. And we just want to have like a really real conversation around what it takes to be a woman or a man in the online space, but especially for our babes, like especially for our ladies. I truly believe, and I know you feel this as well, Krista, that we actually, as the women, the empowered women we are, we actually lead our relationships. We lead in this life. We're so connected to Mother Nature. And I think that
Yeah.
that's a really important piece of like, okay, how can we come together and really support each other on this mission, on each other's missions? But we all know that we're destined for more, and that's what brings us together and brings us really close. And it's actually about healing those sister wounds as well. Myself and Kristen, we've gone through so much healing,
Mm.
not just ourselves
Mm.
personally, but so much healing together. Like to the point where people
Yeah.
used to think that we were married. People used to
Yeah.
think we were married. They didn't know. They didn't know like what was going on between us. Like they're lesbian. Like what are they? Like all of this stuff, right? And it's crazy because we'll share with you, yeah, we'll share our story, but it's just like it's so important to have these conversations. I know it's hilarious, and I was like, well, it kind of makes sense. We have investments and all the stuff together, so yeah, it's really funny.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Oh, babe, so many things. And yeah, I remember those moments. It's probably still relevant for some people seeing
Literally,
us like together. But this is the thing as well, is part of this 100K conversation, part of how we're gonna share this with you and go through our journey as well with your story, like yes, some strategy, how this is unfolding for us and what we're really how we're really leading other men and women to step into their leadership more and to embody this beautiful system, this beautiful community, this beautiful space, this beautiful online world. We're really raising leaders up in this space. And so yeah, it's been such a journey, babe, and far out, like sisters all married. I love it. There's so many pieces that you just said that I was just like, ding, 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 ding. I'm like, come on, let's bring
yeah,
it
well,
in. I just realized also with the Zoom setup, ladies who have just joined, Carol, Lydia, and even Jade, if you want to put on your cameras, I think it was the settings were turned off. So would love to see you, would love to have your body, your presence here with us as if we're sitting across the couch. This is what this session's all about. So please also any questions or anything that's dropping in for you, like ideas, concepts, like shares, please know that that is welcome here. I may even ask one of you or a few of you to come off mute and just share a couple of things depending on like what the tone of the conversation is happening. I want to hear your perspective, like deep in your soul. What is it that you're feeling about this topic in this conversation? That's the whole point of this uncensored fucking thing that we put on there, is like this is not like us talking at you, this is like us talking together of like, what are you feeling, babe? Like what's going on in your fucking world? What do you want to see birth in your lifetime? Like what is it that you want? How can we work together on that? How can we build and create and just dance and play together? Like this is what it's all about. I feel so fluttery.
I know. It's like the true, this is like the feminine that like I feel chaotic, but it's in the most beautiful channeled way because we're going to be talking a little bit about AI and automation and really like how
Mm,
can we nurture the feminine? Like how can we really come into the online space and be smarter? Because we'll share like at the start of our journey, we had no idea what smart business really was, but we knew that we wanted to grow a community. We knew that we wanted to
yeah.
do something. And so we've just followed our intuition every step of the way. And it's truly led us to where we are now. And our intuition and your intuition is going to lead you the exact same way. But only you know what, like, where and how it feels in your body for your intuition and leaning into something that you really are excited about or what you're not so excited about as well. So we're here to support you. And I know that there's a lot of misconceptions. Like I had a lot of misconceptions about the online space. And yeah, of course, like the 100K, it's just like there's probably, you might already have some misconceptions of like what it actually takes. And I promise you, you're going to be surprised at how simple it really can be, which is really cool.
Yeah, 100%. Yum. Thanks, babe, for sharing. Oh, let's share some photos. Let's take the ladies and the gents, because recording, down a bit of a timeline of like where how are we sitting here today, realistically? Like how are we sharing with you today and what's actually happened? There's something powerful that I must say for you and suggest and invite you to do is reflect back down your timelines. Like, how are you also sitting here today with us in this room? Like,
Mm.
not just us sitting here today. How are you sitting here today? What's happened in your life to unweave and weave together and unravel and conspire together for you to be sitting here today? Like, because it's part of your calling being here today. Whether
Mm.
you're in our space, whether like this is brand new, whatever it is, it's like you found this space today, right now, in this moment. And why is that? And what's led you to being in this space today? Like, what have you journeyed? What have you gone through? What have you fucking triumphed through? What have you felt so challenged and so potentially like small through, like, and then you've come out the other side, like literally, like a lot of people call it the wormhole, some people call it the butthole, some people call it just whatever, like a bad time. What have you journeyed to come out the other side, and that's brought you here today? Like, really go there with yourself and like pat on the back for all those beautiful things that you have journeyed, but it's actually part of who you are, and it always will be. And it's actually a magical thing because it's the story of your life. I think that's the most important piece. More people tuning into the story of your life because it becomes a legacy. And we'll talk a little bit about a legacy, but it's something we really, really embrace in our community is thinking far beyond your lifetime. Like the things that you want to do, yes, here on this earth, the things that you want to see roll out, the things that you want to see just absolutely obliterated, and then the things that are birthed. But beyond your lifetime, once you've left this earth from this physical vessel, it's like what's left behind. And the story of your life is such a big part of that. So just know that you can be uncensored too. You can be all of you. You can be all that you are in this lifetime. And to sit here and tell some of you that and give you permission is exactly where this conversation starts. Of course, you can be all of you. I really want you to feel that energy. Of course, you can have 100K. Of course, you can have a community that you desire. Of course, you can have sisterhood around you that you feel so held and seen in. Of course, you can attract that incredible partner in your life that you're desiring. Of course. And this is the story of your life. So bring all of you to this conversation, bring all of you be on this conversation, and let's just fucking go.
Let's go.
Let's,
And yeah, pop anything in the chat. Like, I really, the more you give to this, like, the more energy you give to us and to the women in this space, the more you're going to receive as well. So just know that it's a safe space. We're going to be sharing like whatever comes through. And
yeah,
if you have any questions about us personally, our personal journey, like now is like, this is the master, like, this is the session to really share that with us as well.
yeah. Yeah, beautiful. So we wanted to kick it off because obviously, yeah, the 100K statement, the 100K conversation, we're talking about money, of course. So money is going to be a part of this conversation, but something I want to drive in is money is just an energetic reflection of you and your field and what you're journeying and what you're accepting and what you're not accepting and potentially what you're not listening to in your mission, and then what you dial into with your mission, the journey you go on. So really, really assess where you're at right now with your relationship with money. When you hear the word money or you hear the word, like we started at the start, 100K, it's like, what is that relationship that you have with money right now? And is there room for improvement? Is there a closeness? Is there an intimacy that can be birthed from this conversation and from this moment forward that's going to help you, support you, assist you on your mission, being totally cared for, being just like money landing in your bank and you didn't even know where it come from. Like that concept of like, of course,
Mhm.
because this is the reality, this is the paradigm that I'm now living in. I'm not going to live in the fucking one where I'm paid $30 an hour. No, and I'm not going to work for a male boss, or I'm not going to work for a female boss who's then capped. And then I'm downloading her codes of being capped and having no time with my family. Like, fuck that shit. I'm not going to live in that reality. This is the conversation for that. This
Mm,
is the conversation where you get to assess, like, how have you been treating money? Is that the where the relationship has been to of,
mm,
oh, I'm only going to get $30 of you an hour. So this gets to shift. This gets to change now. And so I love this quote by a homie, Warren Buffett, if you know him. Yes, he's a dude, but he has some wisdom and he's following the flow of money in this lifetime. He really has created that vision for himself and generations to come. And what he says here is so, so potent. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. Now, even though that's quite like cookie cutter, it's kind of like in a box, like it's saying it how it is, like it's a masculine approach and that's okay. But it's like, how can we see that through our beautiful feminine lens? And
mm,
it's like, oh, like I'm provided for no matter what I'm doing in the day.
mm,
Oh, like I'm worth whatever I choose to be worth, and I'll attract whatever I desire because that's what I fully believe from my soul. I'm not told anymore these certain constructs that put me in a box take me away from having my period every single month. I call her the Red Queen. Takes me away from the visit of the Red Queen every month because I have to go to work and I have to plug myself. So if I find a way to make money while I'm journeying with the Red Queen, while I'm being with my friends, while I'm being with my family, while I'm working with people in my community, what does that mean? What has now become available to me because of that? Because I've dialed into that energy and that essence.
mm. I really love this. And this is where it's important to have the masculine structure of like systems in place. Like we're about to step into 2025. Like you guys probably don't know the extent of what's out there with AI and the automation. And something that I really value in our community is the just like we're so up to date all the time. Like so
Mm,
up to date. We're so like onto it before anything like new technology comes out. We have so much fucking support in this space. It's absolutely crazy. Exactly what Kristen's sharing with you. It's like it's just like nearly like you can't say no to something like this when we're coming into a space where from now and for the next few years people literally need a like a second stream of income just in order to be able to pay their bills and to pay like the basic minimum things like food and water, whatever it is, which is
yeah.
really scary, but also I'm like it's very exciting because we get to
Yes.
become more real in the online space. We get to like really leverage these like step into this new paradigm. We get to really leverage what we have available to us. And if people aren't educated and aware, which is what our job here today is to educate you on, then it's like we think it's impossible when it's really not, right? So even thinking about what would you do for 100K? Thinking about
Mm,
that, $100,000. Like if you had someone was like, here, I'm going to give you $100,000, like pop it in the chat. What would you do for $100,000? And I also want you to sit with that, but also sit with like, what would you do? What wouldn't you do to get like to have $100,000 land in your bank account? Thinking about the
yeah.
two, what would you do and what wouldn't you do? I'd love to
I
see
would love
in the chat.
I would love to see because sometimes it's some really interesting answers that
Yeah.
come out. It's like,
Like, what wouldn't I do these days? I'm like, if you asked me 6 years ago, maybe I would say something else. But I'm like, now I'm like, I'm feel rogue as fuck.
so pop some things in the chat. It's like
Yeah.
what would you do for 100K? And watch like the part of you that's like, oh, 100K when like once a year, 100K a year, 100K a month,
Mhm.
100K a day. Like where's also your relationship with time? This is a very important conversation as well. Time and money are resources that you have, but time you'll never get back. But money you can always make more of, you can always move around, but time is set. Time is set in stone. So it's like, what's your conversation and relationship that you have with time? So thinking of these things, what would you do for 100K? If you want to unmute yourself, Unmute. Just speak.
Feel,
Use your
feel
voice.
free. Who's feeling rogue? This is a rogue masterclass. Jade is.
Don't be shy. Come on, Jade.
That's all right. We'll see. Maybe by the end of it, someone will. I love it. Double
Okay,
baby.
Oh,
Oh,
come
Jade's
out
going.
same time.
Here we
We're
go.
both gonna go. No, I actually just real quick. I actually have a call at 6:30, so I'm gonna probably just like jump off now.
Go, baby.
But I'll just quickly add in. I'd reinvest into like property or stocks, and then what I wouldn't do is I have a tendency to splurge online shopping. So I probably wouldn't be doing that.
Yes, babe. I love it. Thank you for sharing.
But thank you. I mean, obviously only catching the intro. I'll have to watch the replay.
Yes, babe.
But yeah, two powerful babes. I love you guys.
Love you, babe. Thank you. Have the best freaking time on your call. Oh, sprinkling magic. I love it. Yes, babe. So yeah, I love that. Jade, if you want to add anything in, you can add something in, and Miso.
And more so in the point of view of like, what would you do for $100,000 and what wouldn't you do?
Yes.
So what's
So what do you mean by that? Because there's so many like.
Yeah. So in terms of work, what would you do for 100K? And what wouldn't you do for 100K?
To make 100K,
Yeah.
like what would I do?
Yes.
I would do something that would also make me happy to make that 100K. I wouldn't do something that's going to ruin my soul for that 100K.
Yeah.
So if it was going to ruin my soul, I'd say don't worry about the 100K, to be honest.
Yes. Yes, babe. Oh, key.
So yeah, it would really have to align with me, because at the end of the day, everyone, it's really not about the money. It's about, am I doing something that aligns with me? And the bonus is I get to make money doing it. But the number one thing is it aligned with me? Is it making me, is it fulfilling me?
Yes. Yes,
Like
babe.
most jobs do not fulfill people. It's just they're on a merry-go-round. Just
Yes.
or like a sheep, just doing what we've been told to do.
Yes, babe. Exactly. Oh, well done, baby. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing so much and bringing yourself off mute and sharing your beautiful wisdom and your insights. And what you tapped into was powerful. And I was literally having a conversation with my partner before this session of like, it's not about the money. That's right. It's about what the money creates for us and then the feeling that we get in those moments. So it's like people don't care about earning money. They care about what then that money will bring them. And as I said at the start of this conversation, true success, our path in this lifetime is so individual to each person. It's so important to tune into that because that is our happiness. Exactly what Jade said. And then the money as well as the money will just follow that. And that's the important piece of this conversation. It's knowing what you love, what you want to like invest your money on, what you want to spend your money on, how you want to receive your money. And this is why we asked the question, because it's like, what would you do? What's things that you feel freaking lit up as fuck about? Not just like throw a dog a bone, you get a little staff party once a month and you get a little $2 raise each year. And then you're like, oh yeah, I'm sort of happy, but it's soul crushing. Exactly what Jade said. It's soul crushing on the inside. There's no lit up as fuck. There's no on fire. There's no like passion. There's no exploration across the earth, like travel, if that's one of those things that you want to spend your money on. There's none of that. There may be an opportunity in 4 weeks in a year, but there's not much. And there's certainly no like help. There's no automation that you can create in your life. There's no support in like, hey, you want to have someone who helps you inside your home. You want to hire a cleaner. There's none of that in that world because it's so in a box and it's not serving you and it's not lighting you up. So you're not going to attract the things that you really desire.
Yeah. And an important question that's just coming through is like, to make $100,000 in your job that you're doing now, what would you have to do? Is it even possible? Is it even fucking possible for you to make $100,000 in your job that you're doing without having to do another 50 hours per week, which I think would be impossible if you're already working full time, or like, it's really like we're having a conversation here. Like, what kind of job allows you the space and creativity to show up as your most fullest expression of yourself to the point where it is so possible to make $100,000?
Yes, babe. I love that question. And it just even brings me to like, I was thinking about traditional business owners, like we're about to share some things in our story. We've been there.
Yeah.
It's like you're a business owner, yes. Maybe you've gone into the coaching industry, maybe you run events, maybe you've got a brick and mortar business like a mechanic shop, maybe whatever, you've got a cafe, whatever it is. But it's like, yeah, if you've gone into that space and you're like, I've left the 9 to 5 world, but you realize that you've actually just copy pasted from the 9 to 5 world, trapped, like you've locked yourself in, that's still that soul crushing energy. Especially if you feel like this is a hard slog. And for the people who completely love it, that's great for them. And there'll always be those people, which is amazing. But we're not talking to those people. We're talking to the ones that are like, no, I feel like this is soul crushing, whether in traditional business or like 9 to 5. It's like, no, this is just not the expansive version of me that I feel inside of me that needs to come out in this lifetime. Otherwise, don't know what's going to happen if I get to my deathbed. A lot of regrets. And I'm like, oh, that didn't come out of me. Like, that's not going to happen. And we know that. That's why you're here. That's
Like,
why
no
you're
way.
here.
No way. Something that's always driven me is, whether you want to call it healthy or unhealthy, doesn't matter. But for me, it's always been a driver of like, I refuse to go to my deathbed with wishing and feeling like, with like thinking that I have regrets. Like, no way, no way. And when I think about that, I'm like, whoa, there's this like rush of energy over me that's like, if I really follow my intuition and what I love and what excites me and what makes me feel juicy and sexy and all of the things as a woman,
Yeah.
it's kind of like this fulfilling sense of empowerment and strength. And it's kind of like, oh, can I hold that?
Yes.
Am I worthy of receiving that? And damn straight, like, we're two empowered women to tell you that you certainly can. We've done it. We've been there. We still journey the depths of the depths. There's days where I don't feel like that. There's days where I do. And I know Kristen literally just come out of another wormhole herself, the butthole. So it's like, it's really important to be having these conversations, and yes, normalize it, of like, yes, you really following your intuition and following that. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And like Jade just popped in the chat, I would have to work every day, every hour of the day. So basically killing myself for money that I wouldn't be able to spend. Bang on, 100%. We actually had a question we thought about when Court and I were chatting about this masterclass, is like, oh my gosh. Actually, no, I was talking to Nick about it. So this is a good one, Court. You're gonna love this one. Is how, with 100K, where you guys are at right now in your life, whatever you're doing, it's like, how much would you have to do, so we can track it in terms of hours, time, like how much would, even a year, depending on like how long it would take, how much would you have to do in your current like reality of traditional business or a job to then reach that 100K? And for you who are watching this as a replay, and maybe you're beyond the 100K, you're getting up to the 250, 500, 1 million, great. It's like, we've got the structure for this, so please reach out to us. However, it's like, what would you in your current reality need to do to then achieve that? And is that going to work for you? Or is it going to be a rude slap in the face of like, oh my gosh, I would be killing myself for money that I wouldn't be able to spend, like Jade's just said.
Yeah.
So that's a really deep, great, like honest look in the mirror of like where you're at and where you're going, because it's a path to nowhere. It's a path to exactly what Jade's touching on for yourself. And it's like, that just gets to end today. I want to free you. I want to just allow you to be like, oh, fuck it. No, I'm not going to do that anymore. Literally, like, cut off, let's go with something else and let's make that transition really smooth. That gets to be today.
Yeah, I love it. And even this, like, this is so spot on. Physical, financial health are intertwined. Neglect one and the other will suffer. This is so perfect for what we're just sharing. True success is achieving balance in both. Like, you really can have both. And this is a misconception that society, we get conditioned with, that you can't, right? That you can't have both, that you can't have it all. And especially as women, like, yes, we fucking can. And we're going to do that 100%.
Yeah, 100%. So what's really interesting at the moment, and this has actually been a trend throughout the years when you look back, like even just when The big cold happened. We all know what that is. It
big
was the big cold. It was this
Oh yeah.
big
I was
cold.
like, the what?
Achoo. Like, you know, when the big cold happened and like times before that, there's always this ebb and flow. But right now, like the biggest things that are Googled is like, how do I create extra income? How do I improve my health and well-being? Like we're at the period of life where the planet, or some of the planet, which is more the Western society, but even like other cultures and traditions that have been influenced by our society, Western society, are also at their unhealthiest time. We're at this most unhealthiest time. So of course people are like feeling the call inside their body, not just because some government body said so, but they're feeling the call of like, I'm unhealthy, help me. So this is why this is one of the top 2 questions that's Googled, as well as extra income. Like Court was saying earlier before, by 2025, which is just around the corner, it's not a luxury anymore to have a little side hustle business or start your own thingy-maboo on the side. It's now become a necessity because things can't be kept up with. Now it's like, do we want to head into like, now I have to do it? Or do we want to take that empowerment and that leadership in ourselves of like, I've been on the fence getting a splinter for so long because I've watched so many people. Now I'm going to take responsibility. I'm going to like cut that old story off of like, it's been 12 years and I've just been watching, to now I'm going to take radical responsibility before it starts to lean into I have to, I have to, I have to. We don't want to be in that place as females.
No, it's massive. And so, yeah, it's really important. Like, these are the 2 things that's most Googled right now, like most Googled. And we have a solution. That's why it's our responsibility and our due diligence to share this with you, to be like, you can have it and we have the solution for you if you choose to have the courage to step into it, right? And you really lean in with your intuition. It's super simple. Just make the decision. Okay,
It
photo.
is.
Not working.
Woo!
Are they working for you or no?
I was going to say, it ain't loading.
Okay.
I love it. So I'm not sure how you want to, what's going on with that,
Let me
Chorus.
see if that works.
Okay, babe, that's great. Fantastic. So I would love to know in just the chat box for you on like what's landing for you right now. Maybe there's been things that have totally like brought up a whole new conversation for you. Maybe there's been some things like triggered. It's like, whoa, this conversation, like I know it, and now it's like really stirring the pot inside of me. Like, you know, this is a safe space. Express whatever's on your heart and mind. That's so welcome here. I said at the start, come as you are. I'll keep reminding you always. So what's been stirred? What's coming up? Maybe what's relevant in your life right now that you're like, oh my gosh, this is like the cherry on the top. I've been in this energy. I've been in this conversation with so many different people, things I'm seeing online. And now this is like the point where I'm like, okay, something needs to change. So what's landing for you? What's resonating? What's getting your body like feeling certain sensations? What's going on in the brain? What's going on in your heart? What's going on in just anywhere in your body? Like, can you feel sensations in your body from this conversation? Can you feel nothing at all? And that's also like a key indicator. So just pop it in the chat. It can be one word, it can be a couple of words, a sentence, it can be here, it can be anything.
And look, if we're triggering you, that we're doing our job, right? If you feel triggered, we're doing our job, because sometimes, like, yeah, for me, I've been triggered so many times, and that's actually what moved me. That's actually what moved my butt off the fucking nail and took some action. So we're here to support you and to just guide you. So pop in the chat. Again, the more you give us, the more we can give you as well. But look, guys, we want to share a lot of our story and stay track on time too. This is a very, very condensed short of our, what, I think it's been like 6 years or maybe more. I don't know. I know our friendship's been like 9 years now. Or
Yes. Yeah, we're almost at a decade. Woo!
Oh my God, I love it. But this picture here on the left, it was at, we did low ticket network marketing, and I'm pretty sure I had a few wines. You probably did too that night. And this was down in Melbourne. And I remember this, like I look inflamed. I was very insecure still in myself, but I had this this pep in my step to like want to do more. And I remember chatting with Kristen. I had reached out to Kristen. I sent her a happy birthday message, And yeah, we started connecting. She literally lived around the block from me, long story short, and we didn't even know, right? We're like friends of friends. Her mum knew my grandma. They're both like very spiritual
Yeah.
women, psychic medium sort of vibe. And so just like the way the universe has worked, it's like we're meant to be here together, and we're meant to be sharing this with you, sharing our mission and vision, because it's very powerful. When we come together as women, it's so, so powerful. So that's like, you know, one of the many conferences years ago that we were at. So we're just like little babies here, right?
Little babies.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
And
yeah, you
oh,
go.
you go in.
You
I
should.
love. No, you go. No, no, you hang up. No. And you know, just to continue on with our journey, this was the second photo was us running a beautiful like charity event for Operation Underground Railroad, something that's very dear to Court and Mai's heart around human trafficking, and even just the sheer fact of getting involved in communities and organizations that are doing and moving forward with greater things than just my daily life and myself and what I'm so blessed with in this lifetime. It's like just spreading the word if I can and getting involved. And Court and I donate regularly to them every month and have for quite some time. And so we ran this event to bring women together, because obviously a lot of what happens in that world is women and children, and there's a lot that happens with the males and the men. And you know, there's it's heavy stuff, but it's also like I get to just give what parts of me that I want to help other people on their missions. It doesn't mean I need to change the world overnight. It just means I get to do my little bit, because whether you do a little or a lot, every part of that journey is so welcomed and so needed for change and evolution.
Mm. Yeah, this was like very special. I always say to Kristen, it gives me soul bumps. Like this event that we ran, we didn't even know. We'll share more around the event spaces that we stepped into, but like this really dug deep. For the first time, I felt like a calling of why I was here on this earth,
Yeah.
and sharing with the ladies and raising funds for this type of event. It was just, it's something I'll never forget. When you're so
Yeah.
connected and you hear and you actually start to see the truth, which even talking about the 100K, us talking about it, like you see the truth of what it actually is, it just like it, you feel it in your body, and it gives you this like energy to be like, right, like let's go, like let's do something. We're here to make an
Mhm.
impact. Otherwise, what the fuck are we on this earth for? Like,
Yeah.
what are we doing here if we're just like fucking around? Like, it's not about that. And so, I believe that's my beliefs anyway. Is like I'm here for some sort of divine purpose, and I will not leave this planet with the feeling of like I haven't done what I wanted to get done here. Right? Mission incomplete, not happening in my world, not happening. And I know it's the same for Kristen too, which is really powerful. So that was a really special event. This photo here of us dressed in our festival outfits was actually the first time I did drugs. And it was, yeah, it was I think that was my spiritual. No, it was another one. I had a big spiritual awakening. Uh, but like this was one of the first times, and I was still lost. Like this was like what,
Mm.
4 years ago now. When we first had kind of come up to Queensland, and I was still so lost in who I was, so insecure still. Yes, I had found parts of myself. I think I was still vet nursing at that point in my life as well. And like I had Kristen, we moved up to the Sunshine Coast together, which was so beautiful. Not many people can say they had that. Even though still in that, like, how do I want to show up to my relationship with Kristen and to my sisters? I wasn't in my full authentic self, I don't believe. And so, yes, it's beautiful. It's so fun to get dressed up. We love getting dressed up and, you know, glamming about. But now we don't need to have drugs to have fun and to connect
Yeah.
deeper. Yeah, I think the connecting deeper piece was a big one, because I didn't really know how to connect with you on that deeper level, even just the
Yes.
sisterhood, which was kind of, yeah, I just had no idea as
Yeah.
well. So like the depth and how far we've come has been amazing.
Literally. And just like as a side note, part of the feminine energy within all of us is all about receiving. So it's like if you're not open to receiving like sisterhood, if you're not open to receiving a whole new reality for yourself, whether that is changing jobs, whether that is burning the business to the ground because it's just not lighting you up, if you're not open to receiving that information from the universe, you'll never be open to receiving 100K or beyond, because money is just a reflection of where you're at in your energy field, in your alignment. So it's like you've got to be open to receiving life, which means also receiving yourself, which means receiving all parts of you. So it's like this 100K can't come in if you're full of shit, if you're full of stuff that's clogged up from 30 years ago, if you're clogged up with stalling on decisions to quit the job, to leave that relationship, to, you know, find new friends, to start reading those books, to start moving your body. Like that won't come in. The money won't come in unless you allow the spaciousness to come in. And unless you start listening to what's already coming to you as your pieces to move, it just doesn't have the spaciousness to do that. So it's really, really key, like what you're saying, Claude, about us deepening in sisterhood. Like it's all very linked.
Mm. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, which is all the connection with the feminine.
Yes.
And then so this was a photo when this is like one of the days we'll again at another event. So events is a very key thing here, and like being in spaces where you like people have what you desire, right? Like just putting yourself out there is really important. That's what we've done our whole life is
Yeah.
go to events. That's really helped us to get to where we are today. And we had said yes this day to starting our traditional business, which we had no idea we were going to do, coaching or running events or anything like that. But we just knew that we had a mission. And so we just started somewhere, had no idea what we were doing. But we had a mentor at the time that was going to help us. And she really did help us with like setting the foundations at the start. It was very helpful. And then, we definitely outgrew that for sure.
Yes, 100%. And so I love this like story of my life being a projector in human design. Like Courtney drives, I sleep before we get to an event to
This is what
host or
happens a lot.
something. So it's like we've had so much fun, like building this together, learning together, falling forward together, buying a house together. Like that second photo is us in Courtney's bedroom when we lived together and bought our first investment property that was together. I have one I bought prior. And so we went on this journey to be like, we're going deeper and deeper and deeper. You know, we're running events, as you can see on the far right. That's at one of our silent disco static dance events. Like we started an events arm of our business. We started a life coaching arm of our business. We were investing in mentors. We were literally in that second photo attending a mastermind few days with one of our first mentors. And it's like, we just went all in. But mind you, we were running off our feet and we were like running ourselves into the ground, being like, I gotta like build myself, I gotta fix myself, I gotta, you know, do this, implement this system, like just do everything myself. And luckily for both of us, we kind of had each other to feel supported in this and like, you know, you do this, you do that, you do this. But at the same time, we're both in that frequency of spiraling of like, we've got to do it ourselves, we've got to fix ourselves, we've got to move forward, we've got to tussle, we've got to work hard. And like, yes, that has its place, but it's also like times are changing. AI and technology and systems and support and this conversation around you receiving, that conversation around you receiving is changing in feminine leadership for sure. But the fact that we have AI systems and technology and this incredible way to automate and bring business into your life and bring money into your life so you can have more time with your family and friends and more time to experience life and have travels, like that's a very real conversation that's already been unfolding for 5 years. And if you haven't joined and been a part of that conversation yet, this gets to be the day. This gets to be the day that everything changes of like, this now becomes your reality. This is where it's going. You know, we are bearers of the light in that way to share this message more and more and more, because women like you attending this are looking for this. They're looking to like get out of those dark ages of like swinging the pendulum from being suppressed to then being fucking, I gotta be up the front, center stage, boss bitch. Like it swung so hard that way that then it swung this hard this way, and it's coming back into this beautiful balance. And I must give a lot of thanks to AI technology systems, like even the social media platforms. Like it's getting to be easier, but it's not easier in the way of like, yeah, you sip coconuts on the beach. It's easier in the way that you just get this spaciousness and time to reflect on yourself of what it is you want in this lifetime, what it is that your mission is. So you can then know what tools and resources, people, communities, and things around you to have to really embody that, to really fulfill all of that.
Yeah.
So, you know, this goes really deep, but it's also like light, and this is the conversation that's having. So if this is also your first time potentially like having this type of conversation so normalized right in front of you, like welcome it as well. And pop anything in the chat, of course.
Yeah, it's so powerful. And even like thinking about in your relationships right now, how much stress and pressure is getting put on because maybe your partner or your friends, like you're all working so much, like myself and Kristen, it puts so much, yes, we had each other, but we dumped so much shit on each other. And so much stuff went down in between our relationship. I wouldn't change it for the world, but fuck, it was like it was the hardest, 2 years of my life when I moved to Queensland, because there was so much that we just went boom, so much transformation, which was great, but we didn't have the systems and tools to really back us and support us, and nor were we truly in alignment with what we really wanted, which we didn't like. We just thought, oh, okay, us working 5 jobs, guys, we worked 5 jobs before we really truly stepped into this space. No wonder our relationships and everything around us in all areas of our life was crumbling, because we didn't have the real support, nor were we supported by, like, yes, we were creating impact and we created our own community, but we didn't have really a community like that supported us globally as well.
Yes.
There's so much to that too.
Yes, 100%. And which is great. So this is like, you can already see like the energy in like the imagery has shifted. Like this beautiful mentor of ours on the left, she's a part of our incredible communities. Some of you may know her already, which is fantastic. So we've spent quite a bit of time with her, spending time on her lands, at her retreats, just being connected with her, having assistance from her. So it's like the sky sort of started to open up when we started to accept the message and receive the message that we were being guided to so many times. Things started to look brighter and things started to open up and things started to become more like unstuck. So like the blockage in the pipe work in the sewage system, or not even sewage system, but like the water system started to become unstuck and unblocked. And this flow started to happen in our bodies and in our external world. And so, yeah, if you want to add anything on, babes.
Yeah, like this woman is incredible. Her name's Christy. You'll probably see her for sure. We just went and had a beautiful weekend with them a couple weekends ago in Sydney, which literally just feels like yesterday.
Yes.
And to just be surrounded by men and women that just are so like-minded, that hold very similar beliefs and that keep stretching themselves, leading first, is really empowering. Yeah, it's really, really empowering. So yeah, I'm excited for you guys to meet more of the community, because it's not just us that feel this way. There's like thousands and thousands and thousands of us worldwide too. So it's like we're all in this together. This photo here, we actually got this was a sales award, which was really cool. I really like this, and I put this in. I was like, just cool to reflect on. And this was actually day before. It was my first plant medicine journey, and it was Kristen's second time. Even here, like before this, I was full of so much shit, like because of just like working 5 jobs and doing all the things, and just like full of like old limiting beliefs. There was no way I had the capacity to receive more. So that's a whole nother journey in itself. You can message me for the details, but even to be able to experience that with Kristen and with our family, soul family, it was just like at this point in the middle here where things just kind of got to the point, the capacity, didn't know what else to do. And then it's been the past year of I think it's been about a year or two of just really like leaning in and letting go, and letting go of so much stuff too.
Literally, which led us to running our first ever imprint in our journey of running our first ever business Bali retreat in March earlier this year. My partner was also a leader in it, and we worked with some other incredible leaders to bring it all together for our community. And so that was really magical. That was really special. We did so many beautiful immersions in workshops, masterminding, building business, knowing how to lead authentically, knowing how to show up online, like just the ebbs and flows of what business is like, and also just the energetics and like the relaxation and the powerful pieces of being a freaking human. It all just came together and it all conspired on that beautiful retreat. And we're so excited to bring more of those experiences to you, which is amazing. And I love this so much.
Sorry, I'm just like trying to.
That's all right, babe. So And just in these photos, like we've gone traveling this year. We went to deep into the Amazon jungle in Brazil, and we sat with plant medicines. We were a part of like the tribe making the medicines. Like there was so much that happened, as you can imagine, in that journey with our beautiful soul fam who are also working alongside us in business. This is beautiful Soph on the left. And my beautiful partner Nick as well. And then obviously Court and I, we bought the same clothes from Kmart. So most days we come out and we're like, as you can see in the green pants on the next one, and I bought us those vests from the op shop. It was just hilarious. We look like two peas in a pod. Once again, probably the marriage conversation was coming up for some people.
This is us in Peru. This is us.
Yeah, it was just so magical. And this is part of what this beautiful space that we've said we've lent into the calling already has brought us, like going to Japan, going to Peru, going to Brazil, going to Bali to run the retreat, and just so much that's unfolded. Court's going to be buying a van soon. Like these travel energy, this travel embodiment, us moving around house and pet sitting, meeting different people. Like this whole world has opened up so much more, and it's only just scratching the surface. And you know, you can see and you can feel inside of you the energy shift and the vibration in these gorgeous photos and this gorgeous shoot we did together only a couple of weeks ago. I think 3 weeks ago, wasn't it, Quarters?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
even me going back through this, I can feel the shift, and there's just
Yeah.
so much, like it's like a uniting of together. And so just know that you're about to embark on a journey if you choose. Like you're in this forever. You know, this is your life that you're creating for yourself, for your sisters, for your future family. Like for us, like we're, you know, we want to have kids, so we want to make sure we're set up for, like, it's beyond the 100K. It's like
Yes.
100K is like nothing compared to like what we're truly doing here, right?
Yeah.
In for the next generation. And so yeah, these photos I feel truly reflect that with nature and the connection that we have, and that we want to be able to do, because like what we could do with that 100K is so special. We could help so many people just like you, and you can too, and that's what we want to show you.
Yes, I love it. Thanks, babe. So just a couple of things before we show you all a couple more things. And before we wrap up, because this is like, this whole experience is to get you really thinking about what your life is like, really zooming out and being like, oh my gosh, this is what I want, this is what I desire, this is what I'm going to have, and these are the people that I want to be around because I want more of this. Like this is the conversation, because more of these conversations need to happen so you can weed out the shit and bring in the gold. And so even when it comes back to money, back to the 100K, yeah, that's just a part of it. And that's why we're here today, because yes, it's a very big part of it, but it's just a part of it in this whole machine. It's not about how much money you make, but how much money you keep, how hard it works for you, and how many generations you keep it for. Now, this is from the most amazing guy, Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Kim Kiyosaki. I think she's Rich Woman is her book. Let that sink into your being. Like it's not just about the money that you make. It is about how you get it to work for you, what systems, how you're embracing, like what sort of conversations you're having around you about the excitement of where this planet's going, where your communities are going, just as a normal everyday life, not like, hey, what did Susan do on the weekend? And like this bitching that women have actually fallen into a lot and quite easily. But it's like, you get to change that. We certainly have changed that. Our conversations are about where this world's going, and that's just what we do for breakfast.
Literally.
And like how many generations you get to keep it for, your lineage, your legacy. It's like the shit that's happened to you in your childhood, in your life, it stops with you. You were the chosen one. That's why you're actually here in this conversation now. That's why you're listening to this recording in this conversation right now at this time. You were chosen to be that end point in that generational stuff to then continue something forward, birth something forward. Doesn't matter if you've already got kids existing, you're still at that birthing point forward because you're still here in this conversation.
So powerful. And so
Yeah.
it's like leading off of that, when we're talking about like future generations and even stepping to this new paradigm, it's just a good point to touch on, like, do we understand what linear income is compared to leveraged income? Like right now, if you're working 9 to 5 it's the linear income, right? It may keep the bills paid, but it's hard to build the future, like we were just talking about. So if you stop working, your income does as well. Whereas you've got leverage income, where the idea is that time and effort you put in now will still be paying you in the next 6 years and more to come. So the work you put in now still, like, there's this like recurring profits that you still get to be receiving, which is like smart. Like, as women, we're so smart. Like, come on, we're smarter than linear income. So we deserve that. And so you know that. I know that you know that. That's why you're here watching this. And it's just step into that. Like, be smarter with your money. Be smarter with how you with your time and your energy, because your energy deserves to be with your kids or with family or with friends, like Kristen was touching about before. Helping other people, like being a leader of Mother Nature, of Mother Earth, is like, we're here for not just like to get by. We're here for so much more.
Yes, 100%. So just something that's really fascinating to blow your brains a little bit is like some of the industries that we know globally, and we're like, this thing's in my world, like the movie industry, the music industry, the NFL, if I don't watch it, but you know, music and movie, the organic food industry, the video gaming industry. So look at the NFL, $12 billion a year. Music, $15 billion a year, like big industries, right? The movie industry, all the superstars, 38 billion. Organic food is 80 billion, which is great. Thank gosh. If you can't afford organic food, this is also why you're here at this conversation, because that's the way that your basic minimums get to be. And I know you want that, because it's like I was once wanting that too, and I made that transition. But it's an incredible industry. Video gaming, 91 billion. Now that's great, but you can see down the bottom the industry that we're a part of and that we get paid from daily. We get paid from daily. No other company gets paid from this daily. People get paid monthly, weekly, whatever. Boring. Old paradigm. Weekly pay, fortnightly pay, monthly pay, yuck. Old paradigm. Daily's where it's at. Let's go to instantly. We can drive that for sure, but daily. So the direct sales industry is 200.1 billion. Blows any superstar out of the water, blows video gaming, all of it out of the water. So it's like, okay, we're definitely in the right place. It's going way up. This thing's fucking catapulted straight past all of these major industries that we know of in society. But it's one of the best kept secrets. And that's the thing about Court and I. We're not keeping this a secret anymore. It's got to be known. It's got to be shared with so many people, because there's so many people that are missing out on changing their fucking life to have more things that they desire in this lifetime, because it's been a secret, because people want it to be a secret. People have you dialed into a movie industry that's only worth $38 billion and keep you away from something that gives you more freedom. It's not advertised on TVs. It's not shared on the radio. It's not shared on any mainstream platforms. Yet it's one of the largest industries that there is, especially in this list. So it's like, think about that for a minute. Feel that in your body. Feel like the depth of like, fuck, I've actually been like cheated here. What the heck? And that's why Court and I are so passionate, and also going to bring more of these conversations, because like this is next level. This is key. This is freedom. This is people's sovereignty. This is people's just rights to know this shit.
Yeah. And guys, like, there's the most female millionaires in this industry.
Yeah.
Like, than anything else. Like, females are topping it because we're smart. We're smart. Like, I don't know how many times I can say it. We're just, we deserve more. Okay. We can do better.
Literally the slide you've been waiting for. What it actually takes to earn 100K in exactly what Court and I are doing online. And we leverage online, but you can do it in person, online, whatever. So it literally takes 15, and we call them quad. Think of quads as person. It's 15 quads per year, quad sales per year to earn 100K.
Wait. Let's let that sink in. 15 people per year. So 365 days, I think there is in a year, to earn 100K, right? That's just in a year. You could have this in a month. You could have this in you could have 200K in a year if you want to do it 6 months and 6 months. So that's just 30 people. So really, really let that sink in. 15 people. And again, we're not talking about, that's not even utilizing the systems and tools that we have. Like, if you know 15 people,
boom.
boom, I can tell you, you know, you've got so, I'm sure you have access to so many communities, like 15 people, and that's not utilizing and maximizing the AI like automations, like none of that. But imagine if you did have that, which we do have, like imagine then what's actually on the table for you.
Yes, yes. And as you can see, it's like 1.25 of quad sales per month, like not even a sale per week. So it's
One
like,
people.
I want you to think about the question we were asking at the start of like, how much do you need to do right now to earn 100K in the situation that you're in right now? If it's like you're at a cafe, if it's you're running a traditional business, if you're coaching clients, if you're running events, if you're working a 9 to 5 and you've got to call customers, if it's like whatever it is, you're working in the insurance industry, you're working as a vet nurse, you're see all these animals, whatever it is, like, do you think you've already seen 15 people, maybe even today in your work, or spoken to 15 people, or at least this week, or even over 2 weeks? Most likely. Coffee person serves way more than 15 in an hour. So it's like, what's going on in your field that's okay, but you haven't even tapped into this field of like, hang on a minute, 15 people of that means I could take the rest of the year off. After doing 15 coffees in an hour, I could take the rest of the year off here in this space. Like let that sink in. Let that sink in of like, you've already seen your 15 people potentially this week. Boom,
Oh,
done. Boom.
I can guarantee you've seen more than 15 people this week, right? So we're not taking the piss out of this. We're actually like just wanting to show you how simple it really gets to be. Now, it's not necessarily easy because then there's the beliefs and your mindset that we've been talking to you about. There's this like unraveling of deconditioning because we've been so wired in this society to be programmed to think we're not worth this or blah blah blah, whatever it is, insert limiting belief.
Yes.
So it's going to take a little bit, like you can start to work towards this of like, you know, start by saying like, I'm worthy of receiving this. I'm worthy of even just receiving $7,000, right? Which is off a quad sale, like one quad sale. So just like, this is the start. This is just the beginning of your journey if you choose.
Yes, that is the key piece. It's like whatever's coming up even now through this conversation, it's like just observe like what's going on in your brain, what's going on in your body, what's going on in your internal dialogue. It's like what's going on in even your visuals or your hearing right now around like, thoughts about others and like their conversations to you or around you about money or the way society is, or if money doesn't grow on trees, or programming from childhood, like, just acknowledge what might be unfolding for you, because that is a key piece to your success, is
Mm.
acknowledging exactly where you're at so then you can shift into the place that you actually want to be. That's the starting point. And so this conversation gets to be part of that journey with you, and so I'm very excited. Yay.
You're welcome. You're welcome to be activated.
Yes, literally. So, in order to get your time, money, and health back, you, beautiful being, must be willing to invest both time and money. Because if you're not changing the reality that you've picked right now, you've picked it. If you're not changing it, you are choosing this reality right now. You are choosing exactly where you are right now. And when you take radical ownership for that as well, of like, no, it's not because of this, it's not because of that, it's not because of insert story back from the past, that is done. It is only because you are choosing to live in that story, choose to live in that reality now and going forward, unless you do change it.
Mm.
Mm,
I love it. So we just wanted to share as well some, I guess, feedback
yes.
of some other women. It's not just us, like we shared of like what they're feeling from this. And like Robin said, I saw this opportunity and realized straight away it was a win-win. We win with our health and our wealth.
Yes.
Rose, I chose it for the complete package that it is: health, wealth, impact, commission, flexibility, sustainability, company ethos. Cameron down here, I chose this model over everything else because it was everything I wanted and more in a business. The product made sense. The comp plan is a dream. Systems, platform, like brought tears to my eyes. There's nothing out there even comparable. Like you can read through these as well. You can take a screenshot of it. And also, like, even Brooke, I chose this model because I wanted to build something that could pay me for generations. And I needed something with automation, as I was not willing to give up my time with my children. I got both, and my inner freedom is the extra icing on the top. Imagine that. Like, this is what we're working towards for our future children. Maybe you've got kids now, but even thinking about their children, what are we working towards? How are we really supporting those future generations to come?
Yes, bloody oath, babe. Yes. So beautiful souls, we've spent the just over an hour with you, like totally immersed in this conversation. I can't believe how quickly that's
I
gone.
know.
And I'm so thankful, but I'm like, this is just the beginning. So our beautiful next step for you is to actually book a call with us. And we've got a couple of time slots for you tomorrow. I was just pulling up my notes to get that out for you. And for you to just click one of the times, because even though we've connected as much as we can through this Zoom call and as much as we can share with you, interactive, like texting, typing, that's fantastic. But it's also a whole nother reality when we get to hear the inside scoop of what's going on in your world, like what's really brought you here today. You've shared a few things, you've been with, so thankful for you and your time and being here and just immersing yourself in this conversation, because it's actually not easy. And that's why I thank you, because your soul brought you here. No matter what's going on in your brain, what's going on in your body, your soul brought you here for an upgrade, for a freaking up level, for a freaking better opportunity at life. And it's calling you. And so we get to like mastermind about that. We get to talk about that and really talk about if you've got any questions, if you feel like you're totally freaking all in, if you feel like you're like not sure and things have come up in you from this call, like that's the space for it. So I'll pop these in the chat box for you.
Yeah, and I guess, like
Thanks
Kristen,
for sharing.
this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. And all of the how, like the next steps, we're going to be able to have a bit more of a conversation of like how that could look for you personally. Because it's all good and well to be like, right, this is how everybody can, but like, how does this fit into your life? Like, where are you at in your life? It's going to be very, very different to where Lydia is, where Jade is, where Jackie is, where Jerry, like, we're all on our different timelines. So myself and Kristen are exceptionally well. We've done this many, many times. We've supported over hundreds of people within our community and have done a lot with just really supporting people, just like knowing what that next step is. So this is your time, right? This is your time. Claim the spots. We will also reach out, and we would love to hear the feedback and like love to hear personally what came up for you as well. But yeah, we're like, this is just the beginning. I'm so excited to continue this journey and go rogue fucking together. Like, this is not just us. We get to all just step into our full unique essence and who we truly are. And I'm so, so proud to be creating this beautiful revolution with my sisters and my brothers in this space. Because I'm so planted, my flags are planted. I know what we have here is exceptionally, like, there's nothing out there. We've been, like we said, we've been in traditional business, 9 to 5s, you name it, low ticket network marketing, absolutely everything. There is nothing else out there like what we have available to you. And especially to feel so supported as a woman that I've stepped into, and I've had the honor to witness my soul sister Kristen step into. Like, I'm so blessed. I feel so blessed. And so every day I'll scream it from the rooftops. I love it. So thank you as well, Christo, for jumping on and sharing your wisdom and being here with me in service of the world and what we're doing here. I have so much gratitude every single day.
Thank you, babe. And I'd just love, before we all hop off, and like, yeah, I'm super excited for what's coming and birthing next. Jade, my love, I'd love to just get you off mute, babe, because I know you're just so close with us in our world and work with us, and you're creating a freaking movement and a revolution on its own. What has landed for you tonight, babe? Just like one thing, what's really sparked in you? What have you heard, even like being in our space, being like we're working together already, like what's really come through for you? Or if there's a piece of wisdom or something on your heart you'd love to share with the beautiful souls watching, like what is it that you'd love to share?
Suppose it's the for me is the community.
Mm.
You know, surrounding myself and finding almost like a village of people
Mm.
who think the same, and you know that there is another way. Like you're the only one trapping yourself, basically. So again, don't let fear stop you from having everything that you are capable of having.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm.
That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'll see you in the morning. Thank you, babe. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for you beautiful souls who have joined us tonight. Thank you to you watching the recording. We welcome you, like a big freaking welcome to the family. Like, you're in, it's done. Let's go. Let's just get a move on, because we've got things to do. We've got people to see. We've got projects to unroll. Like, this is what it's all about. So let's go.
Lots of love, guys. Woo! We'll see you soon. Bye.
Okay. Have the best night. Bye.